I want to tell you a story told by my ancestors hundreds of years ago. A story about a war taking place in the early ages after the creation of the world. It is the war between the Aesir and the Vanir. You might wonder, who are the Vanir? Well, the Vanir are gods just like the Aesir. They have their own special abilities and powers. But while the Aesir are overall gods of war, the Vanir are gods of nature and fertility. They live in the realm Vanaheim, whereas the Aesir lives in Asgard. Okay, I just want to clarify one technical question. If the Vanir are considered a different kind of god living in their own separate realm, where did they come from? Well, even my ancestors had a hard time explaining that one. You see, the stories tell that the Vanir are a line of gods as ancient as the Aesir or even older. Wait, what? I know. According to the creation myth, the first line of gods next to Buri and Bor are Odin and his brothers Vile and Ve, and they are Aesir. So where do the Vanir come in? Don't think too hard about it. That's just the fun of Norse mythology. As you'll discover, there's never just one truth or an explanation for everything in the tales, much like life itself. Okay, so where were we? After the creation of the world, the Aesir built their homes and hall in Asgard. Life and everything was blissful and magnificent. Their days were filled with laughter and joy. So much, in fact, that the air, the sea, and the earth themselves felt it too and hummed with happiness. Then, a woman came by. Nobody knew who she was or where she came from. She called herself Gullveig. She was a Völva. A Völva is not the same as a witch. It's somewhat closer to a high priestess, a healer, and a spiritual leader and teacher that has a very strong and special connection with spirit. A Völva has the ability to perform seiðr, a trance-like form of magic similar to shamanism or augur work. Through seiðr, one can travel beyond time and reality, see into the future, and even influence the minds of others. Before coming to Asgard, Gullveig had traveled through Midgard, the realm of the humans, having performed seiðr and other kinds of sorcery serving the humankind. But when she arrived to Asgard, the gods seized her, pierced her with their spears, and burned her on a stake to be rid of her and her magic once and for all. She probably didn't see that one coming. But their efforts were soon proved to be in vain. Her powers were so great that she resurrected each time they burned her. 3 times she came to Midgard, and 3 times she came to Asgard only to be captured and burned on a stake. Although the Aesir didn't know about Gullveig's origin, she did have a people, and that people was the Vanir. And when they found out what had been done to her, they marched to Asgard, demanding justice. Standing outside of Asgard, they called for penance. The Aesir quickly gathered for council to decide whether to do penance or reach a settlement with the Vanir. After much debate, council ended. The Aesir refused to do anything. Instead, Odin reached out for his spear Gungnir and hurled it into the crowd of the Vanir. And so, with Odin's act, the first war of this world had begun. The Vanir stormed Asgard, and the battle raged on the fair plain of Ida. The war went on and on, and on and on, and on and on, with no victor on either side. Finally, when both were weary of fighting each other, the wisest among the Aesir and the Vanir met to make peace. In doing so, hostages were exchanged. The Vanir sent Njord, the god of the sea, and his son and daughter, the twins, Freyr and Freyja. In return, the Aesir sent Mimir the Wise One and Hönir, whom they recommended as a chief. Not much is said about Hönir, but some say it's another name of Odin's brother Vili. Hönir is described as handsome and quiet and very indecisive, relying on Mimir's advice. When the Vanir discovered that Hönir could make no decision without Mimir's counsel, they felt angered by the disadvantageous trade they had made, and so they beheaded Mimir and sent his head back to Asgard. Mimir had been a trusted friend to Odin, so when he received it, he quickly wrapped it in herbs and ointments to preserve it and used sorcery so that Mimir could continue to speak and advise him. Mimir's head was placed at the spring of wisdom, running beneath the world tree Yggdrasil within the borders of Jotunheim. A fitting place, since the water grants inspiration and great knowledge of things yet to come for the one drinking it. And so the spring got known as Mimir's well. You may recall its name from the tale about how Odin sacrificed his eye in order to be granted access and drink from the well, and thereby gaining wisdom and his psychic abilities. From time to time, Odin still visits Mimir to seek his counsel. Despite the unjust beheading of Mimir, peace remained between the gods from that day and forward. Nor Freyr and Freyja, though Vanir by birth, were accepted as kin among the Aesir. They fight alongside them against giants and stand with them in every struggle. So there you have the tale of the first war of this world, the war between the Aesir and the Vanir. You might wonder what made the Aesir attack and burn Gullveig in the first place. We can only guess, but perhaps it was because of her great powers as a Völva and what she represented. The magic of seiðr is associated with the Vanir, and after the war it was Freyja, daughter of Njord, who introduced seiðr to the Aesir and even taught Odin how to practice it, despite it being considered a woman's skill. Alright, I hope you have enjoyed this tale. If you want to hear the story about Odin, check out this video. Otherwise, until our next tale, may the Aesir and Vanir watch over you.